What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 6. Just going to need to do a bit of healing. As always, that spell isn't blocked, luckily, and we're just making sure we don't lose anyone from blood loss due to the zombie gene. It's a bit more awkward with this one because you can see there that the maximum health points, hit points, are restricted by the trait. So instead of just clicking at the top like I normally do and then spamming and it heals everybody that needs it, you have to do it in the groups. So the 55s and the 65s, the 75s, etc. The lowest I've seen so far is 35. I'm not sure if it goes down to 25, 15, 5 and then 0, or if that's the minimum, I'm not sure. One thing I do know is this is a lot more painful than I was expecting. But that's good, I suppose, for the terminology of hard mode. Also, I didn't really contemplate electricity, but of course we will get to that. And the choice will come to us when we get there and the explanation behind it also. From the thumbnail you will have seen that yes, the Kraken does make an appearance in this episode. And that was even more pain I had to deal with. But again, we'll get there. Along with that and the exiles that are arriving. The exiles that do arrive, I am not going to stop them. Normally, after 2 or 3, I would kind of wipe them out. Or at least the starter building that they do, you can hit it once and stop them. I'm instead going to leave them and let them do their own thing. If they want to attack me, they can. Because this wouldn't be fun if it was easy, right? I mean, I'm not going to say it's loads of fun, but hopefully it's fun for you guys to watch me suffer anyway. Okay, so here comes our first major disaster. Tornado sent in from the exiles. There's nothing I can do about a tornado. There is no way to stop a tornado without the dome. We are not allowed to use the dome. So the tornado is allowed to destroy and kill whatever or whoever it wants. The only thing we can do is wait for it to stop and fix the mess it makes. Very typical of a tornado, going straight through the centre of our base. The one time I'm not allowed to use a dome, usually they skirt around the edges, but there you go. Literally straight through the centre, cutting the base in half. There is no way of automatically rebuilding the buildings that fall down. You have to do that yourself. And yeah, just to topple it all off, look, straight through my pumps as well. Lovely jubbly. And then it sods off into the lake. But yeah, it's cut us in half, so I'm going to have to go along now and rebuild everything that it knocked down. We lost 3 or 4 nuggets in total, I think, so that could have been a lot worse. The alarm was on. I'm not sure at this point. It doesn't look like I have the bunkers down, but I do build a lot of them, same as I build a lot of the guard towers, right? I said I would. Confirmation they do indeed work at fighting against the zombies. The only strange thing is when you sound the alarm, the guys in the towers also hide, which I suppose makes sense for a natural disaster, but it doesn't make sense for a zombie invasion because they're better in there. Confirm the tornado going over the bunkers, which you can see I'm just starting to put down now, does nothing, takes no damage at all. I'm not sure if you can destroy a bunker, but certainly the meteorite and the tornado does 0 damage to them. So I'm going to get them spread around nicely, just so that people don't have very far to walk, nuggets, and also so that there's enough space. Again, though, this is going to cause a lot of problems with the happiness of the planet. So I'm going to have to counteract that as well with parks, shops, and more parks. Okay, so we're back on Sarlacc now, and this is the proper Sarlacc, the one for the expedition camp, not the little ones that are all over the planet. A lot harder to kill because it's got a lot more health and defense. So the rock idea does work, but it's very, very slow, and I lose a lot of nuggets in the process. Because all the time it's alive like this, any nugget that walks past will get insta-killed. Well, I say insta-killed, actually. Sometimes it just knocks them rolling along the floor. Also, when it drops down, for it to come back up again, it takes a lot longer than the other tentacles on the planet. Although it does take a lot longer to do, it is doable. We don't need to pull out any of the magic spells, the raft spells as an emergency. We just use a lot of bricks, a lot of telekinesis spells, and unfortunately lose, I don't know, 10 nuggets or so. And a little bit later on, you can see we're right near the end now. One more should do it. And there we go. Took a while. IRL, what? I don't know, 12 minutes? Well, no, we'll tell by the timer, actually. I might have just made that up. Just get some research in. It's 25 minutes, 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes to kill it with rocks. I did miss the odd one, but I don't suppose that makes much of a difference, because it don't go anywhere if you miss it anyway. It only actually drops down for the timer if you actually do a set amount of damage to it. So what we need to do now is research the next part to get the expedition camp started. That will end that quest, and we can then go on expeditions. For the start though, I'm not going to bother, because my nuggets are... I'd rather have them doing stuff like building infrastructure, and also they could get attacked or damaged down there, killed, etc. And I don't really have the resources to make the poultice. Wolf attacking coming, another one, and as you can see, there's a lot. It works with all of these as well. The hunters do a decent job at fighting back, but it's not enough. I am concentrating on might wherever I can with the numbers. Of course, the alarms are going off, but they're not my alarms, so they're not going to go in the bunkers. They're just warning and making the guard towers aware. I'm hoping the guard towers get better as we upgrade them like multiples, because they are a bit slow. And I really can't afford to build any more, because there's only so many you can build before you don't have enough parks to keep them happy. So moving a bit forward out of winter, because it hurts my eyes, and then looking at the defense towers, we can see we're covering, I don't know, what's that, about 85%. So we can get a couple more in. Every time I put something like a guard tower down or a bunker, though, remember to counteract it with a recreational building. I think actually the shops are better than the parks, because the parks are more for CO2 and crime, though they do have happiness boosts, but at least the shop is cheap to build and is 3 happiness. So yeah, we'll just keep putting these down. You can see bunkers as well, making sure they're reasonably spread out. They do hold quite a lot of nuggets, so we've got more than enough. And then when you finally get to upgrade the sort of modern space era, that doubles the size that they can hold as well. And they will come in handy. They will save lives. You will see that shortly, hopefully. But in the meantime, let's get some parks down, squeeze them in wherever we can. And yes, I know I'm not leaving spaces for things like I normally would, and that would be... Actually, I'm not really bothered about the fire stations, because I think they're covered well. Specifically the courier huts, but we'll just chuck them down wherever they'll fit. They will do the job. They don't have to be next door to the building to work. Bit of the breeding setup that I do all the time. And it's a good place to go where you've got your schools, because you've always got like 5 or 6 nuggets sat there. And they're normally fresh nuggets because they're uneducated, which means they all need partners. So you can go there, spam everybody in the school, and get them on the bonk, as it's going to be called. And then again, holding the control button, it shows you, remember, pink is the single females, blue is the single males. But if you just double click one of the pink or the blues, it will automatically find them. The opposite sex, if you want the same sex relationship, you have to do that manually.
What are you trying to do? Make it sing a cappella?
And now it's time for fire stations with that research just coming in. The good thing about the fire stations is, especially on this small world, the area they cover is huge. Huge, huge, huge. Look at the size of it. So I'll only need maybe 5 in total, maybe even 4, to cover the entirety of what we've got so far. And then everybody should be reasonably safe. The idea is that I'm going to rely on these more. Now, the rain spell isn't blocked, so I'm not too worried. But it's always nice to have these available just in case you run out of points. create a point specifically, and then you can't make it rain and there's a fire. So it's always a good idea to have them. And they're not that expensive. And also it's a mood increase, so it's not a negative, it's an increase to your civilization. Just checking to see if I need any more bunkers squished in. We can see there's a timer. That is for the exiles to attack again. It's very likely going to be me. Mainly because it's set that way, and also because I'm building near at least one of them, and to be honest, I don't care. So I'll make sure I've got enough bunkers down and get ready. What I'd like to try and do is an hour, no, that is not right, a minute before the timer runs out, click the alarm to make sure as many nuggets can hide as possible. We can lose buildings, but the nuggets are harder to replace. So as long as we keep the nuggets alive, they can rebuild the buildings. If I lose the nuggets and the buildings, it's not as efficient. Okay, so we are getting close to the last minute. Did have a few of the actual military nuggets come in and knock a few of the buildings down, but I can get them built, no problem. This you can see now, it's hit the minute marker and I've hit the alarm, so let's jump forward and see what lucky attack they send us. You can see the bunkers filling up nicely. And it looks like it's going to be a lightning storm. The one spell we don't have. I think we used to, but it's not there anymore. Now, it doesn't do too much damage to the buildings. This is a nugget killer, so it would hit nuggets and kill them instantly. But of course, as you can see by looking at the screen, there are no nuggets moving about or walking about because they are all in the bunker. So all we have to do is wait for this to run out, and then we can release them to crack on with whatever job they're supposed to be doing. That's it, and we didn't lose anyone. And I don't believe we lost a building either. I'm not sure if it can take out a building, but it didn't, so there's that. And now we can just release everyone, and they'll come out, and off they go to their tasks that they were doing. Obviously, they may be hungry or thirsty as well. Remember that if you leave them in there a long time, they can still starve. If you lock somebody in there with infection, that can still spread. So it's not cheesy to lock them in there. You have to be careful and keep them well fed. Otherwise, they will die. I don't believe anybody rots in there, so there's that. But that's about the only advantage I can think of. If they die, they just kind of pop out the front door and wait at the front door. Check out the research now. We're not doing too bad. It's getting faster and faster because I just remember to do it. And also, it's a bit monotonous. You can do the auto thing, but I'm not really a fan of that because it doesn't do it instantly, so it's very, very slow. I've put a fire station over there because I'm going to put a bridge there soon anyway, well, as soon as I can. And it made it so it covered this final coastal area that I couldn't actually build a fire engine. And it also means if I build over that bridge, which I will be doing, it's already pre-done. Can get a nice oil jack in here for a nice 3,578 oil. There was a park there. No, it wasn't. It was a defense tower. But all I've done is ripped it up, moved it so I can put that down, then I can put this next to it. So I've not lost anything, and it still stays secure. With electricity unlocked, it means we get the Tesla quest, which means we get the battery. Also got a wolf attack coming in. There they are. They are being attacked by the various towers, but they are so fast. And inevitably, you're going to lose some nuggets. We lost 7. It says 6 there, but it did go up to 7. So, I mean, I'm hoping as we move forward, that will get better. Unless they send a lot of wolves, the guard tower should be able to handle that easy, right? But we'll see. Also, I'm hoping to see that the actual nuggets will become tougher so they don't get one-shot by a wolf. I mean, when they get to the space age and they've got laser guns and stuff, how is a wolf going to bite your leg off? You just vaporize it. I am out. But who knows? Anyway, that's 2 parts of the 3. I've done this before many times. There is a tutorial on how to do it as well, I think. So there we go. That insta-builds the battery, and then I have to use 1 wrath spell to charge the battery partially. And that's it, really. I'm not going to use it again, and I'm not allowed to use the lightning spell to charge the batteries in the future, which makes the next bit even harder. So we have to now pick what electricity we want to use. And as I have said that this is going to be as hard as possible, I had no choice but to pick the worst power the game has to offer and the most useless power the game has to offer. And you know what's coming. Kinetic. Yes, hamster wheels. We are going to be running this entire planet on hamster wheels. The only saving grace is that when we get to the future era, we are allowed to pick between a solar panel and a power station.
It is by far the most hilarious.
And they're at least semi-useful. I think it's going to be the power station, the nuclear power station. It's harder because you have to make sure it remains maintained. If it runs out of water, it blows up and people die. The solar panels, just you put it down and it works. So it's going to be kinetic and nuclear, I believe, unless anybody's got any reasons why that's not the hardest option, most difficult option, whatever you want to call it. One thing I know is these are crap, and we're going to struggle, or at least I'm going to struggle. But we'll see. I might even chuck them up to turbo mode so it kills some nuggets off to give us enough electricity. We'll have to wait and see on that. I hope that they have more brain cells than they did last time I used them, because most of the time nobody's actually running on them, which defeats the purpose. I feel like I need a huge battery base so that we can force them to do it, charge the batteries up, and then it lasts a long time. But we'll see anyway. So that is where I've gone, kinetic. I know there's quite a few people that don't like kinetic, but picking wind or even combustion would be too simple. So I'm making it as difficult as I can be, certainly for this first planet. We might get lucky when we get the quest that unlocks some research. Last time I did, it did give us one of the other electricities as well. So if we get that as a random quest item, maybe we can use it, but I might still block it. We'll see. But remember, I'm not allowed to use the electrify lightning spell to charge the batteries up. So if we do get the run out of power warnings, yeah, that's going to be a whole nother game. More parks, more happiness, because it's orange again. And the last thing I need is a riot. Forgot to put down iron mines. Don't know why. I'm an idiot. I've just realised a lot of buildings aren't being built, and that is because there's no iron. So there is some iron right smack in the middle of the base where I've already built up. So I'm going to have to try and go around the outskirts of that to get decent numbers. This planet doesn't have much because, again, it's on the harder level where it's a smaller planet and the resources are pants. That's why we need to get off the planet ASAP to get resources from elsewhere. The first place we're going is... don't know, actually. Probably the moon and Andromeda. We want to go to Andromeda this time. As I said last season, I want to populate Andromeda because it does look cool as a planet. And we've destroyed it both times. So it's only fair we survive on it. The moon you can see is in the background there. I'm not sure if the surface of the moon's different because I've never actually been to the moon in this mode before. It looks like an angry pumpkin, but whether it looks like that on the actual moon, I don't know. Here we go again, though I think it's the first time for the channel and the series that I've actually shown or dealt with this, because I've not normally do this map. But yes, that is the Kraken. The Kraken is the biggest boss that you fight. Well, actually, the second biggest, because the Planet Cracker is the biggest. This one doesn't do any damage to your base per se. It will just sit there until you damage it enough that it goes under and then releases a zombie swarm. Now, you cannot damage it with stones. You cannot damage it with anything else. I have tried multiple times. So, unfortunately, the rule as it stands, this is a quest item technically, though I've already got the achievement. The only option is to use a wrath spell to kill it. I use the fire one because it's the most boring. And it's also slower. Using the lightning one's a lot quicker. So I use the worst one for it. But of course the zombies that come out after each wave, or the wave of zombies that come out each time, they are for me to do the proper way. I am not allowed to use wrath on them. You can drop stones on them or drop them from a great height. Various other things. But yeah, unfortunately, as you saw there, stones did not work. I did try trees and a few other things. But yeah, nothing happens. So fire had to be the option there. It burns until it gets down to, I don't know, 80%. And then under he goes and the undead are released. Each wave is consecutively larger. The last wave being about 10, I think. I've sounded the alarm to make as many hide as possible because if they're hidden, they can't be bitten. I hope. I do need to try and get a military barracks up though, because I'm pretty sure they will come out and fight these. Though actually it doesn't matter, because once you've done this quest you won't get them again. It's just the other zombies that you get. So coming into a firestorm as well, so it's actually a very good job that we did the alarm to stop anybody from burning to death. But it also means that our buildings are going to be set on fire, and I don't have much in the way of creative points to put out fires. Here we go. We have the second wave. We've knocked the Kraken down. Skip the firestorm. We've seen a load of them, right? And the Kraken doesn't, like I say, it doesn't do anything until you actually attack it enough that it goes underwater. It just makes weird noises. So what I'm going to do is try and pick up and throw the zombies as best I can, because it's the only option I have got. There is a guard tower that is attacking them as we speak. But again, the guard towers are a bit pants. I need to get guns as soon as possible. It looks like the hunter guys as well do defend the guys from the hunting lodge, or what was the garrison. But you can see they spread quite quickly, the plague, the zombie plague. And I don't have any points to keep healing people. So I will have to pick up and throw good guys as well, because I'd rather kill the good guys that are poisoned than lose more. Simple math, really. And another natural disaster coming in. I didn't see the countdown, to be honest. I'm blind. I was too busy distracted by the Kraken, and they sent another one straight through the middle of our base again. Just to reiterate, I might look dumb here, but I'm not. I can't actually use the dome. I'm not allowed. It's the rule. So the tornado gets to do whatever it wants, and I have to clear up the mess after the fact. So yeah, that happened. So that's twice now we have had a tornado go through the center of our civilization and rip down every building it touches, apart from the bunkers, as you can see. So we didn't lose as many people there, but we did lose a lot of buildings. So all I need to do is go around, rebuild everything, and you can see everybody's pissed off as well, unfortunately. But that's because a lot of the buildings that make them happy have been taken down as well. But also we've lost all of the water pumps, and we're getting very close to going into winter. UFO coming in. Now I make a mistake here, and I do actually hit it with, I think it's fire, because I had the fire on for the Kraken. But I don't do it twice, because I realise that it's not the quest one, and I just ignore them. They get to not teleport. They get to hijack whoever they wish. So I think that was me. Was that me? I don't remember. No, it might have been there. I don't think the towers do that yet. So yeah, I'll leave it alone and let it take a abduct. There's the word. A nugget, because that's the rule, and we'll get back to the Kraken. Here it comes now with the third wave, and that sonic boom was the UFO leaving with a nougat. They seem to know where to go in terms of where the live nuggets that aren't zombies are. You can see the hunters are out here as normal, and they are and will fight back. Unfortunately, they are far too slow and they get overwhelmed. There's still, that 5, and then there's 6 one there in the background. But now that one has also been poisoned. I immediately heal them, but they already bit the other one, and now they're going to bite them and rinse and repeat. So to be honest, unless you've got a decent amount of creator points to heal things, you're best just to let them die. The thing that I found as well, if you drop them from a great height, they can survive. So now I find it easier just to drown them, which seems odd because they came out of the water. But it works. So you can see you can drop them from a great height, and most of the time they go splat. But sometimes they just get up like it wasn't even a thing. So be warned. Make sure you drop them from a very high height. I haven't got a ruler, so I can't measure it, but almost space, I would say, is my technical term for that height. And yeah, The good thing is, because the bunkers are filled up and the alarm is on, there isn't really anywhere for them to go. They are heading towards live nuggets. The live nuggets will be the very few that exist that haven't gone in the bunker. But like this one here that was too stupid to hide in a bunker, he gets thrown from a great height as well, because I can't afford to heal them. And a new neighbour's coming in, but I'm not interested because I leave them alone. I let them build and then eventually probably wipe me out. We will have to do something though about all of these corpses around that probably won't be picked up. Yeah, another zombie, and this is one of ours that's transformed, but we can't heal them because we ran out of points, and now they're both screwed, basically. Okay, so I'm grinding a few of the nuggets up. I think 3 in total, maybe 4. So I've got some points. We're running low on water because we have no water pumps. We're running low on happiness because everybody's angry. Just everything's going tits up. So I need some points to start fixing things, but it's going to be long and monotonous. The good thing about the Kraken, and this is one tip I can give you, as you can see is there in the background, again it does nothing on its own. So what I'm going to do is get my settlement fixed before I do anything to it, because it won't release another horde of zombies until we attack it again. So effectively you can just leave it there to wave its arms about or flap its arms about and wait until you're actually ready for it. And I'll probably build a couple of extra defense towers as well, just nearer the coast where the zombies come up to try and help mitigate them, because obviously the waves coming up next will be quite large. So that took about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days in game. As you can see, I have put a guard tower there and on the other side as well. They're not brilliant, but they sort of work. The annoying thing is though, you sound the alarm like that and they leave. I'm not sure if they're supposed to do that. I mean, I suppose they should, because if a tornado comes they would die. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So actually turn that off, because the idea is they're supposed to take out the zombies before they actually get to the settlement. But nevertheless, it's all we've got, and what we've got is an attack time. So this is the second to last, I think. Yeah, this will take it down to just on its last sort of 5% of health with a large wave, and then the next one will kill it off on the final wave. Scratch that. That killed him off, and this is the final wave, wave 5. There's a lot of zombies. Now I try and pick them all up and drop them all from a great height, but again, doing multiples, it never seems to work. So if you pick up multiple stones, they don't do multiple damage. If you pick up multiple zombies, it doesn't appear to do multiple kills.
I would suggest not
so the option for multiple kills does work if you drop them in water though. And you'll probably find this is about the time that I realised that. So actually, if you drop them in the water, insta-kill, and I don't have to scroll up or do any of that crap. It's just quicker. The nuggets are running around all lost instead of hiding in the bunker, which, yeah, I'll let you decide on that one. And I am pushing like enough points to pick these up, so you know they're going to have to help me out and fight back a little bit. And then of course I'm going to have to probably grind somebody up, because we need to get a rain cloud or a trickle spout on that lake to get the pollution away, clear it up. Though it did unlock the quest of lake cleansing, obviously, lake cleansing. But I don't care about that, because we've already done the quests 10 times over, I guess. And with all of that, we are now under attack by the exiles, and they've sent a lot of soldiers. But we are way over time now due to the amount of events that have happened on this episode, so we are going to end it here, and you're going to have to wait until the next one to figure out what actually happens. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Join us on Discord. Take care. Goodbye.